This is the Atomic MRX with a 3500 kV motor and the Lexan body. This is the first time I ran the car on the track with that motor and the Lexan body. I've had this car for 3 weeks now, but I've only been running it in the 2500 and the hard body. Yesterday when I did the testing for the body and the motor, I struggled a lot with the steering. The car understeered, but I kind of knew that when I was building this car together. It just didn't show up in the 2500 class because the car is not this car, but the 2500 class is slow in general. So you don't really need, aggressive steering or traction in the rear. Because it's a slow class. But once I stepped it up to the 3500 class, now it showed that the rear end is pretty planted, okay? And I was chasing for the steering. I tried 3 sets of tires, the mediums, 19 millimeter, the softs in 20 millimeter, and the softs in the 19 millimeter. This is the fastest lap on the track 2 days ago was 7.0. This wheel set right here, the mediums, I did 7.1. This 7.0, which are the 20 millimeter softs, and the ones I have here is the softs in 19 millimeter. I was able to hit the fastest lap at 6.79 with multiple 6/8. Honestly, still want more steering, and I don't know if I can get it with my current setup. Although the car is working right now, and my front tire, these 2 sets, even though I was able to hit the 7.1 and the 7 flats, after 15-20 laps, the steering starts to fade, okay? And I have to sand down the corner sidewall glue on both tires, but still, it'll still start to fade. Unlike these, I sanded the corner one time. The steering I was getting was consistent. I put 80 laps with those tires. The steering was consistent in the front. The car is also easy to drive. Like I said, it has this understeer, a little bit of understeer I wouldn't say a little bit. I really feel like I want more, okay? It doesn't feel like a little bit of understeer. It feels like a lot of understeer. That's what it felt like, okay? But because of that feel, the car was easy to drive. And the car was easy to drive, but yet I'm dropping fast laps, Now can you imagine if I actually have the steering that I want for this car? Can you imagine how much faster the car can get, right? Right now, it's got that understeer. I know I can change the tires to something that has less traction, but I don't want to do that. I want to instead focus on the front until I can't find what I'm looking for, then I'll switch over to the rear tires. Right now, I'm going to work on the front once I have the double A arm, okay? And then with that, I'm also going to switch over to mod. I think this car will do, we'll see, good in mod, okay? Overall, the car was easy to drive, very relaxed to drive. I didn't feel like I had to concentrate more driving this car. I was still trying to go fast, but not focusing so much, That's what the car felt like, and the car wasn't bouncing around, coming in the corner and going and exiting the corner. I did not traction roll with this car. It never felt like it's going to traction roll, even when I was trying to make it traction roll, until I moved the shim of the caster that were in the back to the front. When I moved these shims to the front, I got my initial corner entry, that steering that I was looking for. And I didn't lose that corner exit steering. It felt the same as if I still have the shim in the back, okay? But it was pretty significant difference when I moved the shim from the back to the front. That's when I hit the 6.7. This car was stuck at 6.8, and I wasn't trying to go any faster. I was just driving it. I was just looking for more steering. I want more steering. So then I had nothing to do. I moved the shim to the front, and all of a sudden I got low 6.8s and then 6.7. I wasn't trying to hit 6.7s anymore. I was just going for what I want the car to feel, which is I want more steering in the front. But now that I have that shim in the front, I still want more. I know it's never going to be enough, but my other cars, I have it set to where I want it, and I'm satisfied. With this car, I'm not satisfied. I feel like I can go more. So that's what I need to do. Once I have the double A arm, it feels like it can go for more. So imagine I have all this traction in the back, right? And I'm doing this fast lap. The fast lap that I'm hitting is mod lap times. Now imagine, this is a 3500. Now imagine if I have the steering in the front, the way I want the car to react, and I have this much traction. You know, it feels like it can go faster. But we'll see, okay? We'll see, okay? Yeah. Anyway, right now it's really surprised. You know, I knew that the car is going to understeer when I was putting the car together, when it was brand new, before I even tried it on the track. I had a feeling. Why? Because the back end is free. The back end is free. It's loose. There's no resistance at all. It feels like it doesn't lift. The back end doesn't do that. On the pit and on the track, it stays planted, right? So I had the back end diff lighter just so there's no weight in the back, and I have the mount here just so I don't add more weight in the back, because I knew that this is gonna happen. The understeer is going to happen, and it is happening. And the next thing that I'm also going to do is to move this spoiler forward a little bit and cut it, lower it down a little bit, because there is a lot of this going on in the back, which is putting more traction. It's a good body, nothing special that stood out other than not getting caught. But I'm saying it's a good body because it's light, and it, like I said, it's not getting caught. And look at, I can shift the spoiler forward or back. Some cars you can't do that. With the battery, this body, the race set, the race weight for the car is 162, and I believe the minimum limit is 160 grams. With this and this battery, it's 162, which is my lightest car with the Lexan body. But with the hard body, it's my heaviest car. It's like an all-wheel drive. Wait, 176 grams with the hard body. But with the Lexan body, it's my lightest car, 162. It's crazy how that works, but that's good though, because all the weight in this car is from the chassis. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to get rid of the chassis, the brass chassis. If I switch to aluminum, the chassis itself is going to be stiff, so it's not going to be compliant on the track, maybe. But because I mountain bike, and the aluminum in general, they're just stiffer feel, even on a road bike. There are aluminum frames that is more compliant, but in general, I just try not to get the aluminum. I could never get it to work. It just feels so light, and I don't think it's just the weight. I think it has something to do with the material being not as compliant as steel, or especially the brass. And also with the aluminum frame, there's no weight down here. All the weight is on top of the car, and I don't want that. Imagine with the hard body, the 30 grams, 25 gram weight on top of the chassis plate and then the body, right? Well, now with this car, with the brass chassis, it's like all the heaviest weight is the plate, and everything here is lighter than the plate, okay, including the body. That's what it feels like for me. That's why I haven't invested into the aluminum chassis. Okay, I'm probably not going to. Because right now with the 2500, I can still match the fast lap and set the fastest lap with this car. Yeah, so it is competitive even at 176 grams. And now with the 3500, man, it's the lightest car I have. So anyway, nothing special that I did to the car. The spec sheet I have in the community page, so just check that out. Yeah, okay, I guess that's it for this video. Okay, thanks.